So we've made it, we're here, we're at 2018. 2018 is going to be a great year for you guys because I know you're going to take advantage of it. You're going to do everything you can to progress, grow, develop, try new things, learn new things. And 2018 is going to be a year that I know you guys are going to make very great and memorable for you, just as much as I'm going to try and do for me as well. We should always make, I think, goals for ourselves. And if we make goals for 2018, let's stick to them. Let's make sure we get from point A to be. It's always easy to have a New Year's resolution and then to not follow through. I found though that when you make a New Year's resolution and you stick to it all the way from beginning of the year to the end, it's very rewarding. So I know I had that for 2017 and I'm going to try and make it so I have it for 2018 as well. So today's video, what it's going to be about is it's going to be about Netflix, and specifically the best movies on Netflix. Now Netflix is always changing, so hopefully by the time you're watching this video, then most of the movies are still on there. There's a possibility and a potential that they won't be, and if they aren't, that's a bummer. But for the ones that are still on there, go ahead and try and take the time to watch these movies. And now, something to know, I'm going to give you 10 movies. Now from these 10 movies, it's debatable to call them the 10 best on Netflix, because being the best is debatable to some degrees, but I'm pretty sure that most of the movies I bring up here, you're going to agree with me on. And if you don't agree on them with me, go ahead and leave in the comment section below which movies that you consider to be the top 10. Now, these are not going to be in any specific order. Number 1 isn't the best, number 10 isn't the worst. These movies are just going to be in different random orders to watch them. So we're going to get started with those top 10 lists that I'm going to have. And then if you guys have any more that you would like to jot down, put it in the comment section below. Also, before I get into these Netflix ones, if you like this video, then go ahead and also leave a comment that you'd like to see the top best that are on Amazon as well. Amazon Prime has their own listing and section of movies that I can also do for you guys as well if you guys think this one is beneficial and you like it. How I came up with the top 10 best. How did I figure this out? I figured this out by deciding on how the acting was, the actors who were in the projects, how they did, what they brought to their characters, the story, how the story was for the movie. Was it a great story, or was it not such a great story? The directing, how it watched, how popular the movies are, different factors that got involved, as well as if these movies are still going to be on here by the time you watch this. If you're watching this in November, some of these movies might be off, but if you're watching this beginning of the new year, then maybe you'll see that these are still on there for you to watch. So, getting into this list. Number 1 that I want to get out of the way first, it's a movie called Man on Wire. Now, this movie, a great, phenomenal movie. It's more so than a movie, though, a documentary, which is why I'm doing this one first, because it's the only documentary I'm putting on the list. It's a phenomenal story, and this documentary, by the way, about this guy has also been made into a real movie before. But it's about this man he was a tightrope walker, and he went on top of the 2 tallest buildings and he tight-roped across it. He was an amazing man to do what he could do. It was a very phenomenal story. And if you're wanting something to learn, but also to be captivated and engaged, it's definitely a documentary that you should watch. It's always great to get knowledge and to learn new things, whether or not you are an actor or you are not an actor. If you're an actor and you're wanting to watch all these different movies and learn new things, it's great. It can bring a lot of depth to the characters that you make in the future. But if you're not into acting, but you're wanting to know these lists of movies, it's great to know these because it's great for social things. If you're at a party and people are talking about Netflix movies, you can be engaging and you can be a part of the talk of knowing, hey, these movies are good movies. You've seen these movies before and you can talk about them or recommend them for people to watch. So keep that in mind. Always remember that from any videos that you watch, you can always take the concepts that they have and apply them into real life. You have to, sometimes they're plain and simple and they're out there, sometimes you have to find them, but I think no matter what, if you learn something, you can always incorporate what you've learned from anything and transfer it to something else. So keep that in mind for when you're watching these videos or any other videos that you watch online. Number 2, Apollo 13. this movie with Tom Hanks, great. He's an amazing actor. He's an amazing actor, as well as this movie being an amazing movie. The story of it is great. It's about the Apollo 13 mission trying to go to the moon. I don't want to spoil the movie for you guys if you haven't seen it, but it's definitely one that is fantastic, and the story is based off a true story. So you're going to find with this one that you're going to be compelled, you're going to be captivated, and you're going to keep wanting to watch it from beginning to end. Number 3 is Doctor Strange. Now, Doctor Strange I put on here because I'm a Marvel fan, and I liked the movie. Is it the best Marvel movie out there? Probably not, but it's definitely one of those great ones that I'd put up there. The reason I put this on the list is because the acting in the movie was done very well. As well as the story still being enjoyable and liking it, the acting was great. Benedict Cumberbatch, I've talked about this before, he brings depth and courage and strength to his characters. And watching him work with this character and developing the story with his character was just great to watch, and you're going to really enjoy it. So if you're wanting to see a movie, put this one on the list. Number 4. Now, if I had to create a list and have a number 1 movie be at the top, this movie that I'm about to say would be that movie, I believe, and it would be Schindler's List. Schindler's List is a phenomenal tale based off a true story of the Holocaust, and the acting in it is great, the storytelling is great, the directing is great, the imagery you see watching this movie pulls you in it. Everything is working in unison together, and I can't tell you how much of an amazing movie this is. It's a long movie, so if you need to, put some time out to watch this movie, then make that time. But if you can watch any movie on this list, make sure that this is one of them, because the story is phenomenal. Number 5 is The Imitation Game. Another Benedict Cumberbatch movie, as well as with Keira Knightley in it. Story, again, amazing, based off a true story. Acting, phenomenal. The picture is amazing. This movie is, when I watched it in the theaters and I walked out, all I could say was, wow. I was speechless. There's not many movies that I walk out of the theaters and I go and I become speechless, but this was one of them. When I was watching this and I saw this movie, wow, it was powerful. Number 6 is The Truman Show. Now this one, it's a little bit of a lighter movie to watch. This one is with Jim Carrey. Now, if you know Jim Carrey, you know the type of movies that he makes and the genre that he's going into. He does a very, very great job at melding himself into the characters with what he's working with. And this movie is a great movie. It really is a movie that makes you think when you're watching it. And you see the ideas and the ideologies that they're talking about, as well as not wanting to cry while you're watching the movie. Great movie. Put it on your list. You're going to love it. Number 7 on here is, of course, The Godfather with Marlon Brando. This one, I really don't think I have to say anything. Watch it. You're going to, Some people, though, I've met who don't like The Godfather. So, who knows? You may be one of them. But most people, I think, can argue and agree that The Godfather is a pretty darn good movie. So, if you're thinking of something to put on your list, put that one down. Number 8, The Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith does a great job in this movie. This is another movie that I like that has the acting is great and the story is great. When you're going through and you're trying to watch a movie, yes, you can find movies that have great acting, but the story's not always that great. But if you can find a movie where the story's amazing and the acting's great and you put them together, it can be a very captivating thing to watch. And this movie is really one that you see the guy start at the bottom and rise himself up to the top because he has to. He doesn't just want to, but he has to. And that really makes this story compelling, captivating, and all around amazing to watch. Number 9 is Dead Poets Society. Robin Williams, again, another great actor. If you've seen a lot of Robin Williams movies, then you have seen the transformation that he makes from character to character to character. From his all-around huge, wild, extreme, big characters to his soft, inner characters. Now, this movie is going to be one of those movies where you find that softer side of him. He's not being huge, big, and outlandish, but he's just really compelling to watch in this movie. And if you're wanting to find something that he's been in and you can go, wow, look at that, and also see a story, this movie is one that you're going to want to see. Dead Poets Society. Number 10 on this list is Midnight in Paris. Now, this movie, it's a very cute movie to watch. I really like it. I've always enjoyed watching this movie. Now, this one again is another movie that can come up for debate, and people can say, "Oh, I don't like this movie because A, B, C, and D." I've enjoyed this movie. I think it's great. I think the acting in the movie, for what this movie is and what it had to bring and offer, I think the acting is pretty good for the most part. Yeah, of course, you could get a different actor, put him in, could have been better, could have been worse. You know, make your own opinions and judgments on that. But as far as movies go, this one's it's a nice, light movie to watch. The story's great. A lot of people know about this movie, and people who have seen this movie love it, and I happen to be one of those people. I think the story is very clever. I think it would have been a fun movie to be in and participate in. And if you're wanting to see early work that Tom Hiddleston has done, he was in this movie, and he worked on it, and he played F. Scott Fitzgerald. And again, great acting, fun movie, very light. And if you have a date night and you're wanting to watch a movie, you know, you could always pick this one, put it on. It's a cute movie to watch. So these are my top 10 lists for you guys on the best movies on Netflix. Now, remember, Netflix has tons of movies on it. So you can argue, oh, this movie's better, or not that one, not that one. Pick what you'd like. These are my top 10 lists. And if you like it, great. And if you can watch some of them, fantastic. You're going to learn a lot more on acting by watching these movies. You're going to learn a lot more by life by watching these movies. And you're also going to have a lot more to talk about with these movies, because these movies are going to bring something to you that you wouldn't get if you didn't watch them. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'm glad you guys have been able to participate through this, staying from the beginning to the end. I will see you all next time. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye.